iRacing absolutely created the opportunity for that track to become reality again. Without iRacing, I don't think North Wilkesboro comes back. But we've seen so many examples of how iRacing has been a great tool for the real world, and how we've been able to understand how to reconfigure racetracks, or how to improve racetracks, or how to fix issues that we have with racetracks. And the whole world of motorsports is really now looking at iRacing as this great sandbox, really, to sort of just try whatever they want to try, and any idea could be a reality once you vet it through the iRacing service and the software. So, you know, even when we were cleaning up North Wilkesboro, I never thought, boy, this is going to lead to this track coming back. I was just thinking, man, let's just get this done and get this data and get this information so we can go back to the iRacing office and build it, you know, and that'll be amazing. I'm going to be able to race on this thing. If it can't live in reality, we'll put it in the virtual world where it can live forever. And so that was kind of the thought process then. But what we did was really create a lot of interest, and the people that matter, that are capable of bringing that track back, were really surprised and taken aback by how much noise we made. And so they were like, wow, there's really a genuine interest in this racetrack coming back. And so I don't think that happens without what we did with iRacing in North Wilkesboro. Yeah, we're working on as I'm sitting here right now, the late model stock cars getting scanned to build from the ground up a brand new car. It's been a long time coming, in my opinion. I love the late model stock cars. I've owned late model stock cars and raced at tracks all across the Southeast for years. I drove them myself in the 90s to get my feet wet in racing and learn my craft. But you know, I'm excited about that. Where I'm hoping to eventually convince the team to bring the 87 Pontiac into the 87 cars fold. You know, one of the things, I think we've got a great catalog of oval cars. One of the things that I think we can do is introduce different manufacturers into those fields. For example, the street stock car, you have the Camaro, but we know when we go to a race at a track, we see multiple different makes out there. And so I think for the experience of the consumer, it really adds to immersion and feeling like I'm really in a race. I'm really competing against, you know, I'm really having a realistic experience if I'm seeing different types of cars out there instead of everyone in a Camaro. And so, you know, we've maximized that at the Cup, Xfinity, and Truck level with each manufacturer represented. We're getting there now with the 87 cars with 3 manufacturers there, and I think we could add one more. And then, you know, we do generic late models or super late models and so forth, so the consumers are allowed the opportunity to really create anything they want. And I think we could do that with the street stock as well, and you know, bring in the wagon Legends car. What, you know, there's just as many wagons out there as there are sedans in the Legends car world. And 600 Racing is still making a wagon today. So there, you know, we should have the opportunity to choose between which car we want to race on the racetrack in iRacing. I love the Skippy, so I don't run a ton of road course stuff because for me, I want to be better at it, so I need to put a lot more time into it and just, like, you know, really spend time with one particular car. But the Skippy is so forgiving, and it doesn't. I remember when we first were beta testing for iRacing, we had the Skip Barber car in Virginia, and that was all we had. And we ran every single night trying to find flaws and mistakes in everything. And that car, I don't know, it hasn't changed a lot in terms of how I perceive it and how I perceive it to be driven. And so I can hop on there, and even though I might not have raced the Skippy in a month, I can, in a couple minutes, be relatively comfortable with my pace. And so I love running the Skippy. And One of the track combos that I really, really love is the Indy circuit at Brands Hatch. And so when the Skippy goes to Brands Hatch, they run the full course, but I wish they ran the Indy course like they used to in the British Touring Car Championships. They used to run the small Indy course, and so that's probably my favorite road course combo. Is really about any car in the Indy. I just love that little tiny little bull ring that Brands Hatch Indy course is. So outside of that, I mean, on the oval side, of course, I spend a lot of time in the street stocks and the 87s, and I love the short tracks. I can't get enough short tracks, and I'm pushing the team all the time. I got a list on my phone. Look, this is the short tracks we need to have in the sim in the future. Like, these are the ones we should be working on, and there's some in development now that I'm excited about. iRacing needed to scan a car tomorrow, and of course, if I would have been patient, they would have been able to find one. I mean, they've got the Roush Fenway connection. They would have figured it out, right? But as soon as, me being the customer first, I'm like, I know where one is. I can get it for you tomorrow. We can have it scanned. How quickly can we have it? I want it because I want to race it, right? All my motivation is, well, that'd be great. I want to race it. How fast can we get it? And so I called Tony Jr., who was my crew chief at the time at Hendrick Motorsports, and I said, can you get me one of our COTs and have it at Junior Motorsports tomorrow? No problem. What car is it? Well, it's our backup car for What's It Face track. I mean, it was a good car, ready to go, motor in it, and set up. And I said, okay, so they sent it to Junior Motorsports, and it's sitting right there on the ground in the shop, and iRacing came to scan it. They don't know, what's going on. They just think I've cleared all the hurdles, right, and I've checked all the boxes. And so they come scan the car, and the car leaves and goes back to Tony Jr. comes and gets it, and nobody at Hendrick Motorsports has got a clue that this happened. And so I was worried that they would have cold feet and go, no, we can't let you scan our car. What is that? What happens to that data? Where does it go? We can't let all this information, we wouldn't want to share this information with anyone. They were very protective. I couldn't get torque or horsepower numbers or any kind of dyno sheets from them. And so I would have to go alternate routes to get that kind of information to be able to help iRacing understand torque curves and dyno sheets for the current engine package. And so I knew that they were going to put a roadblock on me scanning this car because of some other things that I'd asked for. And so we did it and didn't ask any permission, and I knew that this information was safe where it was going, and that was that. We ended up we ended up having a COT in the service, and everybody was happy. And I am a customer first. And if I had to choose between my position in the office and being a customer, I would choose being a customer. This is my passion. I love to sim race. It's what I want to do with all the free time that I have. It would be hard to give that up. So when I look at what I feel like the business needs to do to be stronger or to move forward, I always try to keep that customer lens close by. I know that making a 1987 Pontiac for the 87 series, which already has 3 manufacturers, isn't a profitable choice because you're not going to sell a ton of those Pontiacs, but the experience, it'll change the entire experience for everyone who runs in that series to see different makes on the racetrack, and it's really about the immersion. And so, everyone that's there gains from that addition. And so maybe that guy prolongs his subscription, right? Maybe somebody that isn't going to race that Pontiac enjoys the service more and longer because of that addition. But when I'm talking to the community in a race, I just want to have I want to have the same experience that they're having, right, in that moment. And so I do enjoy racing in the bigger events. It's kind of puts a lot. There's a lot of pressure. People assume that I'm just going to jump on there and I'm going to be good, but I'm not as good as I used to be. And the service has gotten. So when I was doing well back when we first started racing on iRacing, when the service was really young, I mean, how many more customers do we have now than we had in 2010? The pool of drivers has gotten so much larger, and there's so many more talented guys on the service now that I've been relegated to sort of mid-pack status. But man, there's just so many talented people on the service. I mean, just last night I was on there getting my butt kicked by some guys, and it's a lot of fun, even if we're running for 5th or 6th instead of winning races like we used to.